What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Wiley Show. Now, this is a special broadcast, and Don is back with us. And I would find this episode quite interesting because we're going to be talking about Tony the Closer, and we're going to be talking about, DJ Envy and also New Jersey Flips. Now, if you have not heard about these three individuals, number one, you're not into real estate. Number two, you're not into Instagram because it goes live all over Instagram. And Tony the Closer have been posting this all over like the IG, Instagram about real estate scam all over the internet. I mean, he's been going live all over the internet concerning this real estate scam. And also, a lot of people are not mentioning him. That's the fat guy, New Jersey Flips. He also participated in this scam, alleged scam. So let's definitely dive into it. DJ Envy is a radio personality on Power 105. He joined with New Jersey Flips, and they literally announced on the radio station, hey, we're going to teach people about real estate. Come to this event. Most of it was free, but they funneled people to go see properties and help them with their credit. Everything was good in the first beginning of it. You didn't really hear nothing about it. Then lately, people would start saying, hey, I gave money for this apartment building and I did not get a return back. Or I gave $10,000, didn't hear anything back. One person said they gave $20,000. I didn't hear nothing back. So you're hearing this stuff over and over and over. And of course, Tony the Closer was posting it first. I mean, he was the only one posting this information all over the internet about this lawsuit. Of course, he even recorded himself and DJ be calling him. So that's what happened with that. Now, I want to read you all the situation when it first dropped concerning this real estate fraud. Now, shout out to therealdeal.com. And this is all about real estate news. It's saying right here, the title of that article said, New Jersey real estate influencers accused in a $2 million apartment scam. Investors claim the couple disappeared with money after pitching a 50-unit project. The two New Jersey real estate influencers and a prominent radio DJ have been accused of taking $1.5 million in investment for an apartment project that never materialized. Anthony Martini filed a lawsuit last week in New Jersey Supreme Court regarding the alleged fraud. NewJersey.com reported the pair are seeking commissary and their punitive damages. They're accusing Caesar, aka New Jersey Flip, and Jennifer, who post real estate projects and commentary on social media, of taking off with their combined investment for projects including a 50-unit Taylor apartment slated for Main Street and Patterson. In 2018, they heard of DJ via Power 105.1 talking about his partnership with Jennifer and Caesar. The partnership saw DJ Envy buy undervalued Patterson homes and flip or rent them, according to the lawsuit. DJ Envy specifically pitched a pair of investors of the Taylor apartments that following year. The investors claim, according to the lawsuit, so they received a formation certificate and stock purchase agreement to buy the 25% of the project, leaving the rest to Jennifer. The Martini investment are earmarked for cost overruns and early operating expenses, according to the lawsuit. Jennifer are alleged to have claimed the project was funded with $2.5 million. New Jersey Flips are alleged to have claimed the project was funded with $2.5 million from Jennifer and $3.5 million in construction finances to cover their entire construction costs. So it goes on and on and on. One of the people that got scammed allegedly said they invested $500,000 for 12.5% stake, half of Martina investment and stake, according to the lawsuit. After 4 forging Martini's signature to confirm the addition. I think it's a penis or penis that started giving the investors the runaround regarding the construction process or progress, according to the suit, blaming factors such as the pandemic. So far, the only progress made was the pouring of the foundation, the investor said. So now social media posts tipped off allegedly that DJ Envy and his partners running a Ponzi scheme. Neither investors have been paid back, who and they are on social media asking for their money back. So this is all over social media. So my evolving thoughts of it all, first and foremost, is if you got money to invest in real estate, then we must do our due diligence. But you are in real estate, John. This is what you do. I can't tell you how many people are getting scammed in real estate. And white investors have been doing it to black folks, to poor people, period. But now black folks and minorities have now starting to scam their own people. Or allegedly scam their own people.
Right.
You have to also say allegedly as well.
Right. Well, as we know, uh, this is a copycat, you know, monkey see, monkey do situation. A lot of times, a lot of times we'll get, part of the information and run with it and not know the whole of the situation. And I think, yeah, I mean, we lend ourselves to get taken advantage of. I mean, now think about it, like you, the Wiley Show. You know what I'm saying? Like from the gossip realm, you DJ Envy, you Hot 97 or whatever it is. And if you were to get all your followers and say, "Hey, I got this great project," you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, me as a listener of your show, I'm going to automatically say, "Damn, like where did Wiley get all this real estate knowledge?" You get what I mean?
Yes,
I'm,
sir.
so I'm going to ask that kind of question to begin with, like, where's it coming from, and okay, like, is there any, like, if you telling us about something, like, did DJ Envy or those guys show anybody plans, anybody contracts, um uh things that inspection reports with the city, all these things had to happen before that could even you know start. So it's one of those things where, man, like, he has a name, and we've seen them do it. And it's a tax write-off, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's just an LLC. You close it out, boom, open another one. You know what I mean? And I mean, you're right. On the other side, they've done it numerous times with each other. And now we just seeing some of us learning how they do that scheme, or whatever you want to call it. And we putting our twist on it. We're going to the hood where people desperate.
Because what I look at it is, none of these people look like they have professional assistants. None of them hired a trusted real estate agent. I don't hear that. A lawyer or any professional that can help them navigate this process, identifying potential scam. Because a trusted person will research the project. Okay, where you getting the money from? And you can sit back from afar and say, "Ooh, this sounds like a scam." Because they usually get you, okay, I got this big build. Tell people how this game works. Because this ain't the first time somebody used a scam with
Right.
an apartment building. How do it work? Hey, I got this apartment building. How can people get gooped, and what do they need to look for? How can they avoid this when somebody say, "Hey, I want you to invest in this apartment building"?
Right. So, long story short, I just want to let everyone and all the listeners know that we don't even have to start with an apartment complex.
Okay.
So this is where you gonna relate, Wally, because I'm gonna make this tie into what you told me you wanted to do. It
Okay.
starts with wholesaling.
Okay. Yes.
It
Yes.
starts
You're right.
with getting the property under contract. That's what it starts with. And so initially, what DJ Envy and his group were trying to do, honestly, was like almost like a wholesale flip, where they got a property at a can't miss price, and they got it so low that they could bring in extra people to help fund it, and everybody still come out in the green and make a profit. It's just flipping the contract. So it's just like the wholesale process. There's no difference. It's up because when you get into real estate, when you first started, the first scammer you're gonna meet is probably gonna be a wholesaler, and they're not gonna scam you in the sense of take your money from you. They're gonna scam you in the sense of the information that they give you. So, for example, I could be a wholesaler and I can get this property or this apartment complex under contract for 200,000. Now I got this 7 unit apartment complex for 200,000, and I might upsell it to you for 300,000. But and I might tell you that the rehab on it in order for you to get everything good and to get all these people to move in, cost you $50,000, right? And then you'll start looking at those numbers, thinking, "Wow, I think I can do it." But then when you get into the project, you'll realize that $50,000 is $150,000. You get
Mm,
what I'm saying? And so he got you that way. You get what I'm saying? And some other people get you, by receiving money, creating funds. You know what I'm saying, and things like that. So it starts with that process, bro. It starts with getting the property under contract, and depending on how low you get it under contract is that's the leverage, and how satisfying it sounds to the potential investors who are going to come in and pour money into it. So it starts there. It starts at wholesaling. So for example, he was a wholesaler, but he didn't have the right information for the people because none of the numbers and nothing made sense and nothing matched up. Because think about what you just told me. You said they had $6 million to do it without any funding. Like they covered the construction loan with everything they had and everything they raised, right? So it should have been a go from the beginning. It should have been a go while he was talking to the people. If it was really a go. But see, a lot of the people, he was a trusted face, trusted name, and they invested their money. But uh, once again, DJ Envy's out, and all of those people who were involved in it, their out is this: they didn't do their due diligence. We did ours. It just wasn't a good investment for us. But they poured. You get what I'm saying? And so
right.
that's how they looking at it, bro. It's not like even though it's in litigation or whatnot, bro. At the end of the day, that shit business to them. They did the, it's up to the people to do their due diligence in their eyes. Not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it's wrong because it's shitty. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, they're out in this is due diligence. The people didn't request the proper paperwork. There was not a reputable realtor. Who was what was the title company? Was it a reputable title company? You get what I'm saying? All these things that transpired before you could even, you know, put the shovel in that dirt. You get what I'm saying? Nobody questioned it before. You know what I mean? And so it's that. Like he insured them based on the people they were. And I guarantee if those guys had a reputation of being scams, the people in New Jersey would know. You get what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
people in New Jersey would know. Say, hey man, that guy's reputation ain't that. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, they're out in this, and while it's almost like a business transaction, is the problem or the mentality I have with wholesalers. For them, oh, it's just another number. No, bro, like this dude probably cashed out his 401k, his Roth IRA to get into real estate and just to meet a joker like you and give him a raw deal. And you know what I mean? And so
And
it's
yeah,
one of those, it's
because
one of those things.
people like, and again, they didn't do their research, and I kind of blame the people. And DJ V, it's a lot of power behind that microphone, and unfortunately, he didn't fucked over a lot of people with the power. That's dangerous. But also, too, you need to verify the information you're getting. I just personally think, okay, they said my return, I should be making X, Y, and these amount of dollars. And DJ Envy was kind of smart because he wasn't on a lot of that paperwork. He was just the spokesperson. But on the paper, he went on there because now he's saying that he wants the lawsuit to be thrown out because he wasn't technically an partner on paper, is what he's trying to say. Hey, I'm just a guy just spreading information on the radio show.
Yeah, he was.
Now, how that's going to tie in legally, that's with up the lawyers and stuff like that. Because now DJ Envy is saying, hey, I got gooped too. I didn't get my money back either. But it's from New Jersey Flip, so the big guy right there, I guess he did a deal and he didn't get any of his money back.
But remember, Jennifer, at the end of it all, she was the only one with controlling interest.
Yeah.
Now everything ties back to her. Who is Jennifer? Because when everybody lost itself Jennifer. Think about what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah.
Everybody lost itself Jennifer. Who's Jennifer? And what kind of power Jennifer got?
So
You know?
when I look at this situation, to me, the people didn't do that. If you got money, some people gave 30, 500,000. You ain't got no lawyer, a basic person to really research that transaction. Any great business person will verify before they just throw $500,000 in it. Especially when you come with that much liquid cash, you didn't. You just took DJ Envy word because he's on the radio station talking with Charlemagne. You just gave him your money.
Yeah. No paperwork. That's what I'm saying. Like there was did you ever see anybody exchange contracts and say, hey, here's the contract, this is what we have, these are the plans for what we're gonna do? You know what I mean? These are the the profits and losses. This is, you know what I mean? Like none of this stuff. I didn't, so it just like it's saying, man, like that microphone made people gullible. Honestly, DJ Envy's microphone and his influence made a lot of people gullible. Because think about it, for the longest, him and Charlemagne was on there bragging about some of the real estate deals they were doing, and how good things were going. He was transitioning to a real estate mogul and blah 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 blah, and people fed into it. People fed into it.
And this is on allhiphop.com. I mean hotnewhiphop.com. And it's saying this: DJ Envy denies involvement in the real estate fraud scheme. Once lawsuit dismissed. DJ Envy lawsuit for alleged real estate fraud is completely incorrect. He claims in court documents obtained by the Shade Room. In fact, the radio host maintained that he did not involve himself in the scam at hand. In filing motion to dismiss the legal action on Wednesday, August 2nd, moreover, he denied involvement in the teams that stand accused of carrying it out and believes his name popped up due to share association to further publicize the case, given his status as a public figure. What's more is that even his co-defendant Caesar backed this story up in the defense of Envy. For those unaware, plaintiff Anthony and another Anthony Baran sued DJ Envy, PINA, and the latter's wife Jennifer last month for allegedly keeping over $2 million in investment from them. Furthermore, these went into two real estate projects, the Taylor Company and the Flip 2 DAO, and they said they donated this venture. They claimed the defendants used the money to compensate other investors. All actors will return to court September 8th of writing this article to further develop their cases. So DJ Envy is saying that he didn't have anything to do with the scam. But this is the thing: is the radio station somewhat responsible because he used their company, Power 105, to bring it? Is they responsible for this? Because I remember when that festival happened, and remember them people didn't have the money, they was in them tents and all they was just promoting this festival, and they got in trouble for that because you supposed to put in that advertising. So is the radio station will take some type of a hit for allowing them to be on their radio station, to allowing this conversation to go on? Is they somewhat responsible for doing it? Because that's DJ Envy boss is Power 105 and iHeart.
Right. So I mean, yeah, because you think about it, I mean, they had to market that shit. The radio station was the perfect platform for marketing and advertisement for the people. You get what I'm saying? So look how many listeners he have every day. So it
Millions.
was, you get what I'm saying? So you have millions of people listening to this. And if you know what I'm saying, so at the end of the day, man, I mean, they should be held liable. I mean, in some capacity, because I mean, the message spread through the radio station and
Absolutely.
through his voice. So
And someone said a good comment, Don. I don't know if you see this. Angela Yee is involved in real estate, but she didn't join him. That says a lot because Angela Yee got people that say this is a scam. Don't do it. Don't put your reputation on. Don't do that. Because she
yeah,
did her due diligence.
there you go. That's the key word today is due diligence. Due
She
diligence
did
is
her
the
due
key
diligence. She
word.
looked at that. The numbers ain't adding up. I'm not about to put my name on that because when the lawsuit comes, who do you think they're coming for first? The people on the radio. That's the reason why this is getting news coverage because DJ Envy is attached to this. It's about hell. They sued Oprah when Oprah told people don't eat meat, and the meat industry sued Oprah. So because of the power, the influence of the show. So I'm not shocked that DJ Envy is being sued in this. I think it's going to be a settlement on the radio show part. Best believe they're going to be cautious of allowing them to use that station to announce an event. They're going to be very cautious because they're going to have to settle. Like regardless of what you look at it, the radio station is going to be held liable on this because you
I,
announced because they had put it. They did an interview, announce it with this radio station though. It wouldn't you wouldn't have had lines around the door, around the block if it wasn't for DJ Envy's celebrity status on the radio show. This ain't something that he did. Oh, he used the radio station and then he used it on Instagram, etc. But it starts there. And it's sad. And I understand why Caesar was like, okay, he had nothing to do with it because he want to protect that friendship. But still, DJ, you can't get around it because you kind of helped the scam. And if you didn't do your due diligence, you should have did. And then what gets me about it, he told Tony the Close, well, he owed me some money. So why the hell you kept promoting something and somebody else didn't do you right? That's the part that I don't understand. You didn't even have the balls to say, hey, y'all, don't donate. I didn't get paid. This is all a thing. You didn't only start sharing that until you got served with paperwork.
facts.
You didn't tell the people, hey, I'm getting scammed. You saw it, and you can't tell me that DJ Envy allegedly didn't get a dime from this. You cannot
Right.
tell me. He
I
did
agree,
not do this
Terry.
on the goodness of his heart.
Look at the comment. That's what Terry said. If DJ Envy was paid under the table to promote Pena's real estate venture, a complaint should be filed with the Federal Trade Commission. You damn right.
This is, ooh. But why is it? Because, like, even with Tony the Closer, he said he's so successful. One thing I don't see is the paperwork or real people. It's easy to put a DM, hey, man, he helped me get 300,000. That's all. You can make that up. Where's the real tangible people? I should be able to go, if they're in Illinois, should go on the block and see the results. I shouldn't just see it on a DM.
Correct.
To me, that's a scam. That ain't giving me enough for me to give my money just because somebody DM you and you just as good. That could all be Photoshop and AI. Where is the tangible people that you so-called help? And if you got all of these millions, I heard they said he was renting out a high expensive place in Florida, and a lot of people looking at Tony the Closer like he's coming out trying to be for people that's getting scammed, and he's telling them to donate to his scam. Like but I blame the people, not the scammer, because y'all allowing y'all stuff to get gooped just because these people got all these chains and jets.
Man.
Their lifestyle is being funded by hard-working people money, not by them real estate deals.
Facts.
It's by your money. And somewhere they might get lucky here or there, but to keep that lifestyle going is from hard-working people that give 5, 10, 15, 20, some people in 100,000.
That's true.
It's because for me, you got to do your due diligence. And if you don't know how to do it, it is people that you can hire that can do that digging. Especially when if you have 15, 100,000, you ain't got nobody in your inner circle that could be like, hey, this don't sound right. You just giving your money up. Even when you go to like hiring a professional, because this gonna be at a cost, but it can still offset potential like losses and scam. This can save you in the long run. It's time consuming, but I'd rather have that than to be in court because that's even more expensive and more time consuming. And I know this is gonna sound bad, you guys, but we have to be cautious on a deal that seems too good to be true. Be cautious and approach. You got to be cautious when you're approaching that type. Oh, it's good. You got all this equity. Come on in the deal. And it's like a rush. You feel like it's rushed, but you got to do it in 3 days. It's going to shut down. If it's that good, it could wait in 30 days. We're going to wait in 6 days. So my team vet this information. but people is so quick because it's like a get quick scheme. It's like when you're on a real estate, you know that real estate thing that goes on in real estate where they say, come on, get this deal, come to this seminar, and then
Yep.
all the money that you have to pay when you get there, they don't
Yep.
tell you shit, but sign up for 2000 and then now the black folks got it. Man, this deal is 65% off. It's gonna cost you right now $1,300. Usually it's 6,000, but today is Black Friday, 1,300. So if you have 30 to 40 to 50,000 people paying $1,300, you do the math.
Yep.
They always give they giving you a discount. And most of the stuff you go on there is all to scam you.
They used to hate me, bro, at seminars. They used to hate me at seminars. I got banned from them, bro. I got banned from them because I saw too many people get like. When I started, man, I started in real estate 2012, 2013, in Dallas. It was like the wild, wild west. Like, because you got to realize it was Dallas's first time ever being gentrified.
Wow. So
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was the wild, wild west, bro. And I saw so many people go there, man, and give 50, 60, 40, 50, 60, 40. Like, and then when you say, because, they giving this, 40, when you giving 30,000 or above, they promising you deals with it. So when you giving that amount of money, what they want to do is they want to like babysit you on a project or two to make sure you fully understand what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? The projects that they get, I'm gonna tell you how that shit go. So the projects that you get, say you don't pay 30,000, they say they promise you 3 deals. Say 3 deals, and you're gonna make your 30,000 back plus your profit. So you like, cool, and we're gonna babysit you on the first deal. You get what I'm saying? We're gonna follow you step by step, blah, 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 blah. Bro, that deal you getting, that deal you think you getting from them is a deal the people at the seminar who don't have enough money to get into the shit. These are the deals that they get from them people.
Wow.
And so that's how the system keep going, bro. And then what they'll do is, depending on how much equity in that deal, it depends on how much you paid. So if you paid $30,000, that's gold. So gold to get the first dibs at the deal. And then gold's deal might be to wholesale it. So the gold might got the deal for 150. He gonna wholesale it for 170, make 20,000, and then they gonna pass that bitch down to B, the person who paid 20,000.
Mm.
Now they got 30,000 less in equity, but they still got enough equity where they can even wholesale it and make 10,000 real quick without wasting any sweat, and then they'll pass it down to the third tier when the equity is almost sucked out of it. You get what I'm saying?
Then you
And
get
so then it's hit or miss if they do make a profit on that deal. Because more than likely, the first deal, they're going to always make a profit. Oh, I made about 10, I made 12. And then after that shit go lower and lower and lower. Well, it didn't go like we expected. We had a little this and a little that. And then by that third deal, they like, man, fuck real estate. I lost all my shit to it. Fuck it. That's what it really is. That's what people don't talk about when they lead those seminars and shit. They don't tell y'all about that shit. Because remember, the people going to the seminar, what is the success rate of the people who go to the seminar and give their money? Does anybody in the audience know? It's about 8 to 11%.
Wow.
So out of 100 mofos, 8 might make a profit.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? And that's a might. You know what I'm saying? And so nobody never talks about the fail rate. So that's at a 92 to 89% fail rate. That's like getting to the NBA. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, bro. No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. So it just set up for you to fail. You know what I'm saying? And to learn the ropes, and you're paying for the education and learning and going through the experience. Nah, bro.
It's because when you see this is why it's so important. Now, my grandfather, my grandmother been sitting well, but he would go to them seminars, pay 5,000 here, 10,000. He wasted a lot of money. He didn't know what he was doing, and he got gooped. Um, but it's so many people because them commercials come on in the middle of the night. I don't know if it still do, but in the middle of the night, hey man, me in your city. It be in a nice hotel. It's free, you think, and they gooped you. Even there was another scam they had about grants, getting grants, how grants you can get. But then in order to get the info, you got to pay like I remember my grandmother went many years ago, like $1,300, and they did it around the refund time because people about to get them checks. And tune up if you want to learn how to get the grant ready, 1,300. And I'm glad we never paid it because I'm like, who's writing that grant and is they qualified to write it?
Right.
You might be getting a bunch of bull crap. You don't get your money back.
There you
Because
go.
what if you don't get the grant? You don't get your money back.
And that's the thing. So, but even with the seminars, you might get one or two people that might succeed in real estate as quick as I did.
Right.
Like I hit the ground running because I understood the transition. I didn't even really understand gentrification at the time, but I understood that whoa. I'm seeing too many white people in the hood that were this hood is really ran by cartels. And the cartels don't even let us in these hoods, let alone white people. So when I saw white people walking with dogs in these kind of neighborhoods, those are the neighborhoods I shifted to. You get what I'm saying? And by chance, I caught gentrification. Like I was ahead of it, so to speak. I was like 2 or 3 years ahead of the game. And then by me being 2 or 3 years ahead of the game, I took off like a rocket because I knew what was coming. You know what I mean? And then that didn't do nothing but made me want to further my knowledge and zoning, code, and compliance and city ordinances, because I don't give a damn what nobody say. You know what I mean? Real estate is truly just equity, Marquise. It's just equity. That's it. Equity and leverage. That's it. All the numbers don't matter because everybody's investment strategy and everybody's goal in real estate is different. But it's really just equity and leverage. You know what I mean? So um we just gotta I say we just gotta hone in on that part of it. Forget the numbers and all that. How much equity and how much leverage do you have? Because you might not even have to use your cash if you got enough leverage in this property. You get what I'm saying? So we just need to learn how to balance those two. Know how to spot equity and know what equity is and know equity when you see it, but also leverage that equity. You know what I mean? You don't because a lot of times, we you in a place where it's been gentrified, man. You really don't know. Like they gonna sell the land 3 times over before they even build on the house. You get what I'm saying? And where you thought the land wasn't worth nothing because the house ain't worth nothing on the land. That don't mean the land ain't. This whole United States is for sale, and it's not houses, it's land. You get what I mean? And so, what did they do when they came over here? First thing they do was conquered land masses. They conquered land masses, not houses, not people, land. And so that's the most important part. We just got to keep that in mind. But yeah, it just leverage, Marquise. It's just leverage and equity, like I told you.
Because, right. And that's so good to get the knowledge and understanding in any industry you get in. And you have to fact check the so called experts and professionals that you get. So you got to pray that you get a good professional that's going to give you some good expertise. Um, you've been working in real estate all this time and a lot of years. Have you ran into people that got scammed and came to
Yes,
you?
I got scammed, bro. Like there's no one in real estate who's truly invested in real estate who's not going to get scammed.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I've got scammed by contractors.
Mm.
I've got scammed by realtors. You get what I'm saying? Like, bro, I've got scammed by other investors. You get what I'm saying? So no one's above it. I don't care how much knowledge you have, bro. No one's above it. It can happen to any and everybody. And it do. I'll give you a perfect example. Most of those people who donated to DJ Envy were lawyers and doctors.
Wow.
These people have doctorates and masters of education from these fine institutions, and yet they still. You get what I'm saying? So no one is above or beyond it, bro. Like it happens to everyone, and it's one of those things where you just have to you You have to live through that experience to know. You know what I mean? So it don't have to be on a grand scale like that. Like I said, it can be your contractor who said he was gonna finish a job or finish up this roof and then he ran off with the money. You know what I mean? It can be any and other, all kind of sorts of situations in real estate because you're always dealing with money. You're always dealing with an exchange of services and goods. You get what I'm saying? For money. You know what I mean? And so when you're doing that kind of stuff, when you're exchanging services and goods for money, somebody more than likely always gets screwed at some point in time.
Somebody said, "Is that the risk you should expect?"
No, I don't think that's the risk you should expect, but I think that's the risk you should prepare for. You know what I mean? You should prepare for the risks and the rewards. And by risk, meaning that, there's a strong possibility that I could lose, what I've invested in. But that goes with due diligence. I'll say this. If anyone's listening, if you guys are going to invest in any kind of deal or anything like that, these are the two things that I would love for you guys to do. Number one, find multiple ways to fund the project, you know alternative means of funding, uh and have at least three exit strategies for every property you invest in. That's important because at the end of the day, you know y- every project has a start and finish, you know what I mean, and a time frame. So make sure you have exit strategies in place. You know what I mean? If you have multiple ways to fund the deal and you have exit strategies, multiple exit strategies, then you'll be able to navigate those waters because you've provided yourself options. And that's all we want in anything, options and clarity. I want the option to sit or stand, not to do one. You know what I mean? And so it's just like that. Just provide yourself with options. And a lot of these things that happen, I don't think you guys will have to worry about because you'll be able to navigate those waters. Because if A doesn't work, you always can go to B. If B doesn't work, you can always go to C. You know what I'm saying? But always provide yourself with an out or an option because trust me, the banks do it and the the lending institutions do it. So you should do it too.
Because there's so many ways to get into real estate and all that good stuff. But when this story came up, I don't think we should laugh. We should research on how they got scammed so we can avoid it. Like if it's a bad, because it is people that look at, they call themselves financial historians, where they look at financial trends, people that study the crash, when the stock market crashed and the Great Recession. They study the Great Depression. They study those trends to prepare for the future. I've seen the word on the curve in our last 15, 20 minutes of this segment of the show that they're predicting another recession. They say it's high inflation. Many people say it's going to bust. They say it's going to happen, and they say America is going to get hit hard. Do you think that we should be worried about a recession? If it is going to be one, how can we prepare to not have a big impact?
Um, in my humble opinion, there will be a recession, and it will be um, catastrophic. And I'm not a doom and gloom guy, but that's a good thing for us because if the market is catastrophic, that means there's a big, big, big um, wealth exchange. And what I mean by that is we're going to be able to acquire assets upon assets upon assets if we leverage some of the things that we have, like for as cash and credit. There's going to be an opportunity for us to, buy the house and the cow. You know what I mean? With what's coming up, we just have to put ourselves in a position to do that. But yeah, it's going to be bad for the majority of people, but it's going to be great for the majority of people as well. And so, because you got to think about it, all the wealth transfers in this country happen every 100 years. All the buildings are built to last 100 years. just to give you an idea how real estate is going to be in the next couple of years. Why do you guys think that New York and California, the businesses, they're not growing in those areas? You know why? Because everybody's leaving those buildings because the 100-year lease on those buildings is up, and so they would rather relocate and start anew than to uh, get the building that they have, uh, you know, into today's, I want to say, today's shape to where it passes inspection. Most of the buildings in New York will not pass inspection. They're rat infested. Just this is just no. I'm
It is
just
built on water too. They said New
yeah.
York is sinking.
So at the end of the day, think about it. You have these skyscrapers in New York, 70, 80 stories, and you can't do a rehab on them. They don't make that steel that they made them with anymore. Like for real, think about it. You can't do a rehab on them. You can't tear them down. So you tear up the infrastructure of the city. So what do? You sell them. And that's what you guys are seeing. A lot of these commercial buildings being sold for little or nothing. They don't even care if they make a profit. They just want to know. They just want to be out from under the note so they can go somewhere else and build. Why do you think everybody's moving to Texas? They can't build in San Francisco and in California and LA anymore. Too congested. We have the room to build. So they would rather think about all these. Think about it, Wally. All of the people, the Fortune 500 companies that have left New York and California and Chicago and came to Texas, and I mean left the building and came here and built another building. You know what I mean? And so that's what we're going to see. We're going to see. Uh, we're just going to see. You know, a generational gap. You know, generational gap.
It's going to happen. I could definitely see the shift. I mean, California company flooded to Dallas, to Texas. Um, they're flooding because there's so much land that you could just build from scratch. So much land in Texas that could be developed. And I'm not
Yes.
talking about like closest to like the Dallas. If you go further, it's all of
Yes.
open land that you just to
Like I said,
thrive in.
like Texas is so big, you can put every citizen, I believe, in the United States in Texas and give them an acre of land. But they want to tell you that we don't have enough land and we running out of space. It just, that's
It's
that's
just
that's
that we're running out. Everybody want to stay in certain parts of the country.
not only that, we're running out of space because you realize that there's no space because they've bought it all. It's government owned.
Yeah, that's true.
Government owned. The CDC purchased more real estate during the coronavirus than all the investors put together. The Center of Disease Control. They purchased more real estate than all the investors combined in real estate during the pandemic. So the government is buying all the land. I don't know why, but the government is buying all the land. And so and so the more they buy, the less we have access to. Why do you think they're bunching us up? You know what I mean? So land is important. So if your listeners do come to Texas, man, try to find you some acres. It's cheap.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to, because I see so many people say they want to get into real estate, but they don't have a clue of what it is because they're looking at people that say they claim they're successful and they just want to rush in it without doing their research. I don't care what industry you go to, this is my theory of it, always research the industry that you want to get into. You want to at least know the basics. And you want to always learn. Like if you're a YouTuber, you always want to study where you're at. You want to study trends. Just an example, being on YouTube, it was all about long videos. Now it's about short videos now. So what you learn from a social media person, expert 10 years ago is outdated because we in a whole new formula right now. So it's always being a student of the game. And that's something that we must continue to do, no matter what it is, especially real estate, because some of the stuff stay the same, but other trends it changed. And then you got to know when to buy, when not to buy, when to sell, when not to sell. That all depends on personal preference. Like right now, people say don't get any property while the interest rate's so high. But just listening to people, they say if the interest rate go really low, then you still gonna pay high because everybody gonna be bidding on that property 3, 4, 10 bids because everybody gonna try to get a cheap deal. If that makes sense.
It do make sense. But guess what? Um, the thing is, everything can make sense to us, right?
Okay.
Everything can make sense to us, but the decision makers, the people who write the policies, they're they're not in agreement with us. You
That's
get what I
true.
mean? And so that's the only hurdle we have, honestly. Like I tell everybody, man, all of this stuff starts with how can I put this? It starts with the legislation. Just and a lot of times the real estate legislation is passed in Senate bills. We don't pay attention to Senate bills. You get what I'm saying? I'm being honest with you. Like, if you guys want to know, like, why the things are happening in your city, in your state, and why certain areas are the way they are, look at some of these Senate bills. The Senate bills, they hide everything in the legislation. And so with me, uh, I'm a zoning guy, and I'm a real estate flipper, you renovator, whatever you want to call it, but I'm a strategist at the end of the day. I'm a strategist and a consultant and an advisor. But I'm all that in one. But my what I'm saying is this: you can either play the follow the leader game in real estate, and that's real estate. And so I want to from now on, I want to let all the listeners know that there's two games in real estate, and we've been duped. I was duped for my first 5 or 6 years in real estate, like really duped. So I'm going to just kind of, pull the curtain back for all the listeners and all the viewers now. So there's two forms of real estate. You know, the real estate that you guys think you're playing is not real estate. You're playing follow the leader. Yes, I do consulting, but you're playing follow the leader. I'm looking at the questions too, right?
Okay.
But you're playing follow the leader, right? So whenever you get into real estate flipping, Airbnb, you know, rental properties, multifamilies, whenever you get into that, into any of those genres, you're really not playing real estate. Well, actually, you're playing real estate, and that's the real estate they want you to play. What I mean by is the establishment. They want you to play that real estate. So what I did was I played that real estate until I realized there was a different real estate,
Mm.
right? And so this is what's going to get you guys. The different real estate is monopoly. We out here playing real estate. They out here playing monopoly. And so when I realized I knew how to play monopoly too, it was a problem for the city of Dallas. They sued me. They tried to stop everything I did. And guess what? They still couldn't do it because I had reached the point to where it's like when somebody say, you can go behind the curtain and look at Pandora's box. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't show me what was in Pandora's box, but they let me walk around the room. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So because I walked around the room, I didn't have to see what was in the box. I wasn't curious enough to see what was in the box because I knew what was in the room. You get what I'm saying? And so when I got in the room, they realized that, oh shit, this dude is not gonna look in that box. Damn. But he got all the information from this room. We can't possibly let him out the room. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I got out the room easily. And so the Monopoly is what we should be playing. The game is Monopoly.
Because that's what they're doing. Like it was, and it's on the news. If you look at it, it was a company that bought like 300 properties, and they just jacked up the rent. They have all their, and so that's pretty much, I believe, what you're talking about, buying up. They allow them to do it, but except for us, we in the hood, we buying 60 properties, 80 property, 100 properties in South Dallas. They will stop it.
Right. But I'm
And
not talking
then,
about that kind of monopoly.
oh, you're not
Monopoly.
talking about that kind. See,
Oh no,
that's
no.
my mindset
See, and
is, and you probably on a whole other level. See, I don't
yes.
know.
So I'm not talking about that monopoly.
Because let's be clear. Let's go back to when them two black brothers, them bankers, they call it the banker,
Mm-hmm.
right? What did they try to do? They bought banks, but they let a white guy be the front person, and they were giving all these black people loans. And once the white people caught on to it, they went to prison for that. They tried, and then they changed the law for that too, because them
Mm-hmm.
black. So you know what I'm saying? That's a form of I don't know if that's monopoly. That was a form to
Yeah.
outtrick the enemy, if that makes sense.
Well, I'll put it to like this: they were monopolizing their opportunity to
Yeah.
to
Okay.
to to
Okay.
attain
I
wealth,
like that.
right? So the monopoly that we should be playing is
Okay.
this: like, I get in trouble when I start talking about this stuff, man. It
Okay.
really be
Well, we'll probably
no
have
no
to
no
talk
no no.
about
I'm
it
finna talk
tonight.
about it. No. Hey, it's going out
Okay.
today. So I just gotta say it in a way to where So this is the type of monopoly we should be playing. All right. When gentrification happens, they come on our side of the track and they set the value for what's on our side, right? Because we don't know what the true value of our side until the white man come on our side and say, hey, you know, this is what it's worth. Because he's going to go in there, he's going to revitalize our neighborhood, he's going to set a price or a value there. He's going to jump across his fence, jump across his tracks, excuse me. He's going to jump across those tracks. He's going to come on our side of the tracks. He's going to set the value on our side of the tracks, right? But
Right.
but he's going to set a value on our side of the track, knowing, and these are where the words get you, knowing that it's a seesaw affair, meaning even though it's on the track, the equity in the area is always going to do this: up, down, up, down, up, down, like a seesaw. There is no consistency. It's always volatile, depending on the market, right? Like we're talking about the hoods now, because think about it. They're going to pass policies to increase the crime. They're going to make sure we can't open up our own businesses in our area. Make sure we open up more churches than businesses, guaranteed. They're going to mandate that. You get what I'm saying? So the monopoly we should be playing is, let's jump on their side of the tracks and let's set the value in their spaces, the same as they do ours. And let's keep the consistent value, because on their side of the track, the value stays consistent. And so if we're going to invest, let's invest in consistency. Let's invest in consistency. Let's jump on their side of the tracks. Because guess what? When we get gentrified, guess what? They get gentrified too. But this is the difference, people. This is the difference. The difference is this. On our side of the fence, everything is loud and volatile. It's the street shit. You can hear violence, gunshots, everything. Pow, pow, pow. You can hear, hey, Wiley them getting put out because they getting put out. You can hear all that shit. You ain't gonna hear that shit in the suburbs. Whispers. Hey, Johnny's going through some bad stuff. He just lost his job. They might have to move. You know anyone? You know anyone? Who could qualify? Yeah, I do know a guy named Don. Don's a great guy. Yeah, call Don and see if he can work a deal out with Steve, because he's embarrassed. We don't want the neighbors to know. Everything happens in whispers because we're so used to the loud, we can't hear the whispers. You get what I'm saying?
That's true. That's a good point. I like
So,
that. I
so
like that part where you said invest in consistency.
yes, and so that's how we beat them in Monopoly, because now we monopolizing on their side of the fence. They want us to keep investing in the hood. They want us to stay where we at. We can do that and go on their side too, though. But
Right.
guess what? This the difference, though. The difference is I don't like this joker coming to my neighborhood setting the price and setting the value. I'm gonna tell you why. Because my side of the town was never treasure to this man. He gonna talk all my people down. He gonna talk all my people down the lowest he can get them. Cause he don't see treasure. That nigga see trash. Facts. Right?
Mhm.
Whereas I gotta come correct on his side of town. I gotta get him market value. Or I gotta wait till they going through a divorce or some crazy shit to get a discount. He ain't gotta do that here. We're gonna do it to ourselves. And he gonna help us do it by lowballing us. And we gonna accept it. Because all it takes is for one of us to accept that shit in our neighborhood. Then there go the floodgates. All these jokers walking around our neighborhood. But see, you know, brother like me, I was doing that shit in our neighborhoods and I was giving the people what they wanted. And I was still making my profit. And the city of Dallas couldn't understand that shit. Real estate investors couldn't understand that shit. How is this dude doing this shit in the hood? And everybody going to him. Because I knew I was gonna make 70 or 80. I could give my people 20 or 30 or 40 more than you could. Because the equity still there, dummy. I ain't greedy. And so when I was blessing my people kept blessing me. We had our own little thing, bro. Where like it was Hispanics, blacks, everybody. Hey, Don, uh, just come tell my grandma what would you give us for the property, and I'll be like, I'll give you like 150 for it. If anybody comes here and tells you they'll give you less than 150, kick them out the door. And then when my project was finished, she got that 150, even though it was worth 120, but I was gonna sell it for 270. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Look at the prop. Yeah,
I am my six. So it's all about your approach and how you do that shit. But when you do that shit the right way, shit, you gonna get that resistance. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I stopped going on social media, man. Like because it was so many of us that was selling that game to us on these platforms, and I was just losing my mind on that shit because I was like, man, I can't be emotional about this subject, but this dude is he not being forthright with the information. You get what I'm saying? You know, it's almost like I don't like when we try to profit off our ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And but that's what they do. And so uh it just yeah, so that's the monopoly we gotta play, y'all. We gotta jump on that consistency side, jump on that consistency train. You know what I mean? And because all it takes is one of us to go in the neighborhood and they see that we cool. Now we become that neighbor. Now everybody confiding into us. Everybody confiding into us. Hey, you know Jim? Oh yeah, Jim. What? Oh, I'm calling Wally. Say, Wally, this dude over here, shit, he about to lose this shit. I think you can come and get. Now we got another one, and then another one, and just like DJ Khaled say, and another one.
and
You know what I
another
mean?
one.
But that's how we. But that's how you play Monopoly, bro. You know what I'm saying? And this is at the surface level. I haven't even I can go so far with this. We can go into capital gains. We can go to opportunity tax funds. We can we can go as high as low as you want to go. But from the surface, for my people to understand it just on a surface level, that's the easiest way to play Monopoly. The more assets you have, the more money you have, more leverage you have, then you can go farther in the game. You
Absolutely.
get what I'm saying? But on the surface level, that's how we play Monopoly, and that's how we beat the system at its game. We going through gentrification, hop on the other side of the fence and see what's going on over there. Because guess what? When we go through a recession, guess what? They lose them high paying ass jobs too. We forget that
They get
they
hit first to be.
they they get hit first. They lose all that shit before we do. You get what I'm saying? We the bottom feeders when it comes to the foreclosures and all that kind of shit.
Because like
Because
for because a person, did you see this question on here? They asked, they said, I was just about to say, should we buy in the hoods to keep them from buying up our history and culture? Like, say for instance, I come in there and I want to buy blocks. Is that legal? Can I legally do that?
yes, you can, but this is the key. This is the
Okay.
key. So I like that question, Bougie Barbie. I just wanna what you say? I was just about to say we should buy houses in hood and keep them. Okay. So how we do that? We have to buy with trust. Don't buy in your name. Create a trust, and you do it that way. Then you can buy up the block. Because if you notice, they come through our neighborhood and these special interest groups and real estate investment trusts. They buying up everything. You gotta be, you can't be you. You gotta be a business. You gotta be a trust. You gotta get incorporated. You gotta play the United States game. Remember, this
So they
shit
don't
was
want to know
incorporated.
who owned what. So they don't even know who is what.
Yeah, they incorporated this shit in 1786. They didn't discover this shit in 1786. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we got to be on it. We just got to be on it, man. We just got to be on it.
I'm about to checking this back end with that question. I had to get my pen to take the notes. The trust is key. Now, one of the questions that gonna come up, I don't know if we're gonna ask, well, Don, what kind of trust can we get, and how can we start getting that?
It depends on how you want to structure your business. I can't give you any legal advice. I can't give it to you. Like, and I don't know enough to give you legal advice, to be honest with you. But what you do is first you can do the first thing you can do is honestly just research the information.
Like,
Research the
what is a
information. You
trust?
can
Yeah.
use YouTube, Google. Just research the information because every trust is set up different. You might have yours to where you want to make compound interest off your insurance, and you want to have yours might be an irrevocable trust where you can't move it, or it just depends on what you want to do and how you want to structure it because that's more of a personal thing. You know what I mean? So I can't give any legal advice about that, and I'm not gonna just I'm not gonna spew anything and say hey do this because no, I'm not gonna do that. But
Right.
yeah, but
You
just
just
research it.
do your
After you do your research and you get the gist of it, then you go to a lawyer and then you go to someone who can actually set that stuff up because then you will know exactly how you want it done and how you want it structured rather than having someone that's structured for you and then you come down years down the line you're like you know what I should have did it this way. You know what I'm saying? So I would say just do as much research on it as you can and then
yeah.
take that route.
And I just want to thank everybody. So now, if anybody got any Q&A questions regarding what we talked about, you can. Also, your email address, because people ask, do he do any consulting work? So we do have the email address, and I have that written down. You can go to oppgive999 at gmail.com, and you can send him an email if you have some questions and stuff when it comes to that. I know some people were talking about they want to
Yeah,
sell, they want to flip, etc. They have a deal. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
put
true.
the email address on the screen.
That op give stands for opportunity giver. So all the youngsters call me OG. And so
So I
yeah,
want to
so
put that on here right now. So if anybody want to give 999 at
yeah,
gmail.com.
just shoot me your questions, man. I'll answer them. You know what I mean? You need consulting, we'll talk about it. I don't really like charging for consulting and stuff like that. But I'll charge you for my time. I just put it like that. It won't be much. Just within an hour. Just give me an hour with you and we can figure everything out. Because if you need more than an hour with me, then you know, you might not be ready. Because if you speak to anyone who's spoken to me about anything in relations to real estate and things like that, I move very, very quick and I kind of break everything down for you to where you truly get clarity and understanding in what you're trying to do. Because that's my whole goal as an instructor, advisor, strategist. Um, it's to provide you clarity in the decision you're going to make. And we're going to, ain't no stone going to be left unturned. And uh, I just tell you this, that everybody who's listening right now, you know more than you think about real estate. You just, you just have to just, somebody has to, pull it out of you, so to speak. But everyone
Absolutely.
knows way more than you think you do. Trust me.
And that's why on Sundays we're gonna bring Don to come on the Zoom where we can get into the meat and potatoes, into some things because he gave me great give some advice. It's up to me to take it, right? And so that's why it's good to have friends that have the experience. I was having a conversation with my uncle. He says it's good to have people. He was more so talking about the board on these church boards that's have a business and a successful business. Because if you're not a business minded person that's really doing business, you're not good to be on any type of board. Because you're not gonna see the vision of your pastor if your pastor want to take your church to the next level. So you want to surround yourself with business minded people that have the experience, because experience will always speak up in a lot, because a lot of things Don went through that I can avoid because he didn't already went through it. Now, if I don't want to listen to it and just run into that brick wall, that's me. But a lot of things you can avoid by just listening to the folks that are actually in the industry, that actually have the experience. At one point, I wanted to do
Yes.
wholesaling. I didn't know that you can easily get scammed through wholesaling. And you
Yes.
could just, so it's good to do the research. And him having a conversation with my mother, she's taking an exam again to see if she can pass it. She's almost close to getting her real estate license. But that's like the first hurdle. Then the second hurdle is making sure you're around the right people when you get it,
Mm-hmm.
because you can get gooped while having a
Yep.
license. Because there's a lot of evil real estate agents
There you
that's
go.
breaking so many ethics and doing all type of evil stuff.
So yeah, like I said, man, like when you get into real estate, you realize no matter where you go in real estate, no matter what niche you take, you're gonna navigate through the waters, man. It's sharks in the water everywhere you go. But like I tell all the people who are goldfishes, I call the people who are new, who are just searching for the information, I call you guys goldfishes. Trust me, where there are sharks, there's also piranhas like me. And all the shark has to do is lose a tooth, and I see a drop of blood, and I'm gonna eat his ass up. But I'm gonna do it in a respectful way, to where he'll know not to mess with the little goldfish, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? And
Right.
and so, but yeah, so but you have to, and like, because at the end of the day, uh, like I tell you, man, like I have a baby face, and I'm 44, bro, and like I said, like a lot of these guys in real estate, they talk at me, not to me, until
Mm,
they realize it's too late. You know what I mean? Like it's funny how, like, I'm the keynote speaker, and I'm just shooting the shit and mingling with everybody, and the dude is telling me shit about the keynote speaker. He what does he know? Da, 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 da. And he don't realize I'm the keynote speaker. You get what I'm saying?
exactly.
And so it be little shit like that, man.
It
Just
remind me of the lady that was a CEO, I think, of Sam's Club, some Fortune 500 company. And they said, "Who are you? Do you do marketing?" Now, mind you, she's the lead speaker. He was so shocked when he saw her on there speak, because he couldn't fathom a black woman is got
yeah,
this much power. They underestimate you a lot because of how you look, and that's why you effed up at by
yep,
underestimating. Just like this whole thing with Tyler Perry and that deal with BET. I guess they thought, "Oh, let's sell it to a black man. They'll take it, they'll overpay it." And to find out Tyler Perry wasn't stupid, he wasn't gonna overpay for something that is depreciating his value every year. And people is like, "Well, he black, he should just buy it." Business is
nah.
not emotional.
What do you
Business
want
is business.
to want this man to pay? Almost $800 million more than what it's worth.
Yes. Because
Because he got the
television is
money.
right. Because television is when you look at it, television, and when people is unsubscribing from cable, just talk to your family. "Man, I ain't got cable. I got the Fire Stick." Meaning you ain't paying a cable subscription. So that hurts their business, because most cable companies make money through subscription fees, right?
Yes.
ESPN, they're now about to go totally streaming service. Why? Because it's hardly no money in cable subscription. Right now, YouTube is probably in the next 10 years will be, what is over television? What is that organization that radio show and television have to follow? It's a government agency have to follow. We're gonna be on held to that same level, because this is the new television. The government is kind of behind schedule, right? The government is behind schedule. So they don't know, even to this day, if you get an LLC, they don't have it as social media influence. They're still outdated. You have to put television or radio. But once they get caught on to it, they're gonna regulate the heck out of YouTube. They're gonna hold it to that same standard. Just watch in the next 10 years, because it
I
won't be
know.
no more cable until,
Nah,
as you
it's
know,
gonna be all digital streaming,
it's
and
all gonna be streaming.
And I'm also a licensed
The
realtor as well.
FTC.
Ti,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's T1000. So I got you there too, bro. I'm a realtor. I'm a property tax consultant. I'm a real estate coach, and I think I wrote a book. I'm working on the second book right now. So yeah, it should be busy, bro. She meant the FCC
FCC,
federal.
yeah.
Yeah,
Federal,
she's
yes,
I
FCC.
because I Federal Trade Commission. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to happen because to protect social media for a long time, they have a law that shields them from a lawsuit. For whatever I say, Google's not responsible, like the newspaper. But one law and the president signed and said, okay, social media sites, y'all can be financially responsible. What Wiley said, who you thinking they're gonna sue? Me or Google? They'll just name me in it to be petty, but they have the Google pockets, they pockets is way larger than mine. So you're gonna see, you think it's censorship now, let that law go bye-bye. It's really gonna be censorship. Ain't nobody gonna be able to do YouTube. Cause they're gonna be suing Google all day. Google will be getting, oh, I didn't say what he said about me. I'm suing Google. So that's why, like you said, something we don't pay attention to them laws, to what's in committee. We don't pay attention to none of that. But it's people they live and breathe. They know this
Yes.
law coming. They know this is being proposed in
Hmm.
this committee. This is being talked about. But we don't know about that. We had a lawyer that was talking about the Safety Act. He said, Wiley, most of the people that say yes to those bills don't even read it. If
Nope.
they're not reading, what do you think the regular folks is doing?
Nope.
They ain't reading it either.
It
If the
ain't getting
people
read.
that swore the oath to follow the if they're not reading, you mean to tell me, let's say this notebook is probably about 100 pages, this bill. I ain't reading, but I'm gonna say yes to it. And then you don't know the effects because the real lawyers that get paid to look through loopholes, they reading it because they got a team to seek through all of that. We don't read it. It's not sexy. It ain't in 60 seconds. They make sure to make it so challenging, so it discourage you from reading. Because one of the things about black people that they never want us to read, right? They never want us to get that knowledge because once you educate a person, it's hard
Right.
to enslave them. Okay, now we got y'all to read, so we're gonna control what the hell you reading. We just gonna change, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
that's the kind of new system, and that's why it's important for you to know what's going on behind them government walls, because it's all they put it on paper. The problem is half of us don't even read it. We don't know the language. We're not gonna read it. Oh, it's 3,000 page. We take what CNN say because they people may skip through a couple of pages and they run with the meat and potato just to get you to click. But if you really dive into that bill, you be like, oh,
Yes.
and some of the stuff can really help us as black people. We just don't know how to use. It's laws that can help us today. We don't know how to, because
Yes.
most of the lawyers don't even know this on the books. Some
Right.
of them are lazy.
So and on top of that, we don't realize how many or how much in undiscretionary funds
That's true.
that the government has for us to build and develop in our neighborhoods at these bank branches.
Yeah.
At these bank branches. You know what I'm saying? And so that came from the what was it called? The oh my god, the CRA, the Reinvestment Act. They just did. Where I forget who it was. I think it was Bank of America. But long story short is there's so much money that's allocated for us to fund our neighborhoods, and we have no idea that it's there because the people who are in the know are not even minorities. I'm gonna say it again: the people in the know are not minorities. And
Mm,
do you realize when it comes to minorities, white women get more minority contracts than all of us put together?
that's true.
Because when we did the civil rights movement and everything, the white Jewish media or the people who wrote in the bill, they made sure that white women were counted as a minority. So
That's true because both when black men had the right, because men had property owners. If you were a man, you had the right to vote. That was before white women. So a lot of the civil rights, white professional women won't be in them, particularly if it went for the Civil Rights Act. So let's be crystal clear. They weren't allowed in certain colleges where the
nope,
women. Hell, as a man, if you marry as a woman, you couldn't even have your own credit card unless it's on your husband. Your husband had to get one. You couldn't
there
get
you
one.
go.
So understand when we say if them actually have benefited white women more than us, we telling the damn truth. Just look at the data.
There you
But you
go.
don't see them screaming about affirmative action, affirmative action.
No,
But they benefited from it.
like I say, man, like they always talk about minorities and welfare and everything, and then you got a state like Utah.
Yeah.
Like we just stop there. Like there can be no one that ever say anything about welfare fraud if we don't mention the state of Utah. Think about it. The average household, 9 kids, Mormon, all the guys, what they do, carpentry work, 1099, don't have to pay taxes on that shit. And what they doing? Building houses for Jebediah and Ezekiel and whoever. But the women are living off the goddamn government. Now think about it. The men are working, they building, bartering, and all that shit. But the women are living off the man. Think about it, man. Some of them have 12, 13, 14 kids, 5 marriages, 20 wives, 20 kids together, 3 wives, and them all getting government assistance. You know how big them checks is?
Really big.
Shit.
Absolutely. That's why it's so important to understand and not fall for the okie doke. And let's be clear, most of our tax dollars fund poor states in this union because they get most of their budget from the federal government.
There you go. And
We
so
mostly like they trash California, but most of California tax dollars have Alabama, Mississippi. Most of them states depend on the federal government.
government. Look
They
at
got to
Brett
depend.
Favre. Look, you know what happened with Brett Favre, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers?
Oh, he took the. You talking about? Oh
The
no, it was.
largest welfare scam in Mississippi history.
Yes, he did. He just took that
And ain't
money.
nobody batted an eye about this. Ain't nobody batted an eye about this.
Roland
I
Martin
mean,
talked about that.
he
Yeah.
had the largest, man. You know, he bro, he had a under the table deal with the government there to do welfare fraud where he was gonna get all the money, they was gonna put it into these investments that he was making with these other celebrities. It was money that was allocated to go into the poor Mississippi welfare system, and what they was doing is they was putting it in their pockets. These people ain't getting their vouchers, they ain't getting no food, nothing. But all the money going there, and the state keeps saying we don't know where the money is, we can't find it. Come on, man. So
That's
like I
what's
say,
important to know. Thank God for people like when I was watching Roland that story because it didn't get hardly no press from national media. That's the beauty of like these news outlet that's online now, where they can have more freedom. And shout out to the former like these journalists that worked in regular television in the business and they couldn't get their stories out because it's usually a white person 20 some years old as they boss and tell them they can't talk about it. That you can get that knowledge. But I heard about that story and that didn't really get that publicity on mainstream media. It did not. They didn't
ESPN, like this is the Hall of Fame NFL quarterback.
took all on people.
And,
Yeah.
and look, ESPN barely scraped that shit. Cause you know why? Who was in the news at the time?
I
Who
gotta
was in
see
the news at that time? Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving.
So they put all the attention on Kyrie and none on Brett Favre.
Oh yeah, about what he said. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all a bait and switch, man. Like it all depends on where you focus your energy and your attention.
And
You know,
people keep saying, somebody just said in the chat, Envy and Scammer. I just think Envy was just a business person. I think he's a scammer by association.
yeah,
If
he's an
that,
entrepreneur. Like at
yeah,
the end of the day,
okay,
we can say what we want to say about Envy, but to our knowledge, and what the courts say, he lost there too.
yeah, he did. If it's true, he was
But at
wrong.
the same time, he fed the beast. At the same time, he fed the beast. You know what I mean? And so you can't play with the pigs and not get dirty, bro. And but the thing is, he knew he was playing with the pigs. You get what I'm saying? And he invited everybody else to play in the pig pen. You get what I'm saying? And that's what happened. He invited everybody else. He influenced everybody else to come in the pig pen and play and get in the dirt. And
That's
then they
true. Woo. And I'm glad. Uh, do you okay? Prediction time. Do you think this lawsuit going to get thrown out?
Um, I think there's going to be some kind of settlement.
Yeah, me too.
There would have to be some kind of settlement due to the fact that for one, you had, I think one of the investors had a controlling interest. I think he paid for like 12.5%.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, like, and trust me, if he gave that amount of money and they agreed to 12.5% and things like this, he had something to write.
absolutely. He
You
should.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that's true.
so
That's true.
and so and then every individual has a gripe. Every individual investor too. And so I think it'd be foolish to take this to court. Think about it. You got the project in I think 2018, 2019. You didn't start on it or begin to do anything until 2 years later. But the key was you had all the money to do it then. And so is there a question where did the city stop you from doing what you needed to do? Because that's pertinent information we need to know. If because think about it like this, I look at it this way too. Just say if DJ Envy and them are telling the truth, they are telling the exact truth. And what happened was, as investors, uh, they said we was going to renovate and we was going to do this in this neighborhood and we was going to bring it up. And then, based on his association and his following on the radio station, the community and the community's involvement, the people of that city was like, hell no, we ain't finna let them win because that's gonna influence other motherfuckers to do it. I can see that happening, but you would still need proof of the intimidation and the stalling that the city usually does with red tags and things like that to kind of stop the progress of the work. So you would still have to have some kind of tangible evidence to show that there was some kind of collusion or some something stopping you guys or restricting you guys from doing it. And you don't see it. Like that would be in the docket, from the attorney that they suffer from bullying and intimidation by the city. They was dragged their foots on getting us our inspections. You know what I mean? All of our permits, blah blah blah. I don't see none of that shit. So if it was that, then I can see that. But they didn't provide us no evidence like that, Wally. None at all. So you can only go by what you see.
Well, what you see, I definitely will be covering this case. And when the case first came across my desk, they was like, you got to bring Don to give his expertise, probably not on the legal front, but how to avoid being scammed on the real estate front, like on the real estate front. And you said something key. It's kind of hard to avoid being scammed. Don't be shocked if you get scammed in real estate, especially with the contractor piece. So that's like a big piece because regular folks still to this day get scammed by contractors. That's why if you have a great contractor to really, and some people don't want to
Yes.
give up their good contractor
Sure don't.
information anyway.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, contractors ain't loyal either. They
Yeah.
gotta eat too. They got a family to provide for too. And that's the part right there. Like you'll realize um in small doses that there's no loyalty. I'm not gonna say the whole thing is like that, but in small doses you realize, oh shit, like you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And you just gotta be able to navigate through it because it's just a part of the business. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I said, you're dealing with goods and services provided for someone for money. You get what I'm saying? And it's specified because you want them to specifically do this and don't do it that way because this, you know what I'm saying? And
To
so
get people.
a lot of times people will say they can do that and they can't do it. They don't have the skills required to do it.
Should you research that contractor, their previous clients? Should that be a go-to?
Previous clients, and the number one thing you should do is social media.
Okay.
Real estate is such a small circle, believe it or not, that bad news travels so quick in real estate. So if you get a shitty real estate agent, you get a shitty broker, a contractor, and trust me, it's gonna be out there. We have a website for real estate investors for contractors we would never work with. Like this. So I'm not joking with you guys. These a lot of these contractors get blacklisted by us. A lot of these contractors and by realtors. And you can ask your local realtor that. There are websites where there's a list of contractors that it's caution, do not work with. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, man, because think about it. If a contractor is good, a good investor is going to pass that on to another good investor.
Oh,
Right?
that's true.
So you got to look at it like this. A lot of times our contractors are coming from word of mouth, a trusted person. You get what I'm saying? And so we ain't finna just jump out there either, because social media gonna tell you everything you want to know about yourself, whether it's good or bad or ugly. And that's how we find out about a lot of these contractors, through social media. Because trust me, when they do something wrong, they go to the investor who got mad, or they feel like they didn't do satisfactory work. They go on to social media to gripe about that shit. Did he do this, guys? Yeah, because I noticed this. Then you have people out the woodwork. Yeah, he did this, and you be like, damn, I didn't know he was like that. And you done referred this dude to somebody, and you be like, shit, you know what I mean? And it and it be like that, bro.
And so
So
it kind of like, yes, I'm glad you said it because there's so many like groups out there and information do travel fast. And you're right about that. And that's why I do these shows because there's somebody out there that's in real estate investment. There's somebody in there that's into real estate that want to get into real estate, etc. So this was a great conversation. But of course, we got to bring you back in September, give an update or something in the course because they said they'll be back in the first or second week in September. So we definitely got to
okay,
bring you back to have this conversation
no
on that. Me
problem.
personally, I predict that it will be a settlement.
Yes, I do too. I agree. I think
I
it's
even
gonna be
think
a
the
settlement.
radio station, the people over there, they're going to settle too. And I can guarantee you it's going to be a disclaimer. We don't endorse this radio station, don't endorse these people, blah, blah, blah. You know, them info
Or
commercial with it.
or it might say like the what does it say? The views and such and so
Oh, yeah.
that kind of thing. It's not in all likeliness and da da da.
That's going to happen because, they were gooped because they put it on that radio program. Even DJ Envy, he don't even like it because I think he was kind of upset at the guest host that be on there, the female, I forgot her name, the comedian Jess Hilarious, because she brought it up about the lawsuit. You kind of like look at him like he didn't want to dive into it, but it's something. I mean, Tasha came in, rally behind it. You got Rick Ross. They've
Yeah,
been
Rick
throwing
Ross.
in
Rick Ross.
going in at it. Tasha, y'all were talking about my lawsuits, not you getting sued. So everybody is gooping this. And of course, he got to take this hit. I mean, this is DJ Envy. It was his time. I mean, Charlemagne wanted his whole thing with women and all of that. Now it's DJ Envy turn. But you see, Angela staying quiet about it because I'm going to call into her radio station. Hey, sis, why you never got into this deal?
She gonna give you a
Now, her
PC
and
answer.
DJ Envy did, I think, acquire property in Detroit, but that's different than to be talking about an apartment building. That's totally different than buying a house in Detroit
Right. Yeah, I mean,
and flipping it. The versus getting into
yes.
this higher up. Because there's more than one person in it.
Yes. So nah, that's night and day. Mostly when you do apartment complexes like that with like 80 or more units or something like that, it's more like a syndication where you pool together money, and just like DJ Envy and them did. So he facilitated in the syndication, you know what I mean, of that information to get everybody to invest into what he promoted on the radio. That's just long story short. You know what I'm saying?
And it
And
make it hard for good investors, though. It make it hard for these type of scams that want to come back and help their community and make good investors like yourself job harder. Oh, he's a scammer,
yeah, see,
you know.
and that's the thing, man. So like I tell people this. I say, if you guys listen to what I say, um, I'm really just truly bringing you guys clarity in some of the things that you already knew or you already thought about. And then when you hear me say it in the way I said, you're like, damn, it makes sense. And then it kind of triggers something in you where you fall back to something else you heard, and then you just start putting pieces together for you. You get what I'm saying? And so it's like this. The reason why I'm able to do this because like Wiley was saying earlier, you got people who really study markets, study trends, and study those things. I don't study none of that shit. I study equity and gentrification. That's it. That's it. That's what I study. So everything I'm telling you guys, I'm able to translate that in any city in the United States. And Wiley will vouch for me. Any city in the United States, it'll take me one day, not even a day, a couple of hours. Tell me where you at and where you want to be as far as like if you flipping a house, what you trying to do from the investment side and where you what lane you trying to get in. It'd take me a day in any city in the United States. And I'd be like, here you go. This where you need to be, and this where you gonna hit them at. And because everybody going through a different phases, 4 phases of gentrification. We'll get into it in a whole another podcast. But it's 4 phases, and all those phases are involve zoning and city ordinances. You know what I'm saying? Code and compliance. It involves that. And so,
Absolutely.
like I
Thank
said,
you.
man, I'm playing Monopoly with these people. Not playing real estate anymore. I don't advise you guys to play real estate. You pay real estate to get your money up to play Monopoly. That's what they didn't tell us. They told us to get in real estate and stay in real estate and make a living in real estate. Ain't no compound interest in the real estate we making. We playing because they playing real estate with insurance and trust.
I
We
like
not.
that. I like that. Get into real estate to get sure to start playing Monopoly. And that's why it's important for we to have that. And there's so many great information out there on YouTube. I didn't even know how much knowledge I had on YouTube. So I started talking about somebody that want to get into the game. Like, oh, wow. Because there's so much information on Google. It's so many trends. There's so many different. And it's people like yourself. It's hidden because white people have been doing it forever. It's refreshing to hear from someone in the black community say, hey, this is the game. You use their system against them. Take a page out of their playbook.
Right. But you got to realize, like my approach and your approach doesn't come with the bells and whistles. Doesn't come with the pretty bow and the presentation. It's kind of
Absolutely.
like you get what I'm saying. So I never wanted to be that guy in real estate. If I'm going to help you, I'm going to help you. We're going to help each other. But you know what I mean. So let's just do it that way. Let's start from that there first. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I say, in order for you to be able to check me, you have to respect me.
I just check me, have to respect me.
You get what I'm saying? And so there's no one who's above being checked. You get what I'm saying? And as long as, because remember, I say that only because I say that for this. I say that because I don't have ego. You get what I'm saying? Real estate truly is about ego and macho, bravado. Whether you like it or not, you flexing on a motherfucker. Telling you the truth. I got 7 properties on the contract. Oh, we got 30 units. We got 7. You get what I'm saying? It don't sound like you saying that, but that's what it comes out to anybody who you talking to who don't have it. Damn, I'm trying to get where Wiley at. Wiley said he got 7. Now, before he can get one, he thinking about 7. Trying to follow the leader. But he ain't did none of those. He ain't completed no steps but in between the process. That's our problem. You get what I'm saying? We scared to you know, complete those steps in between the process. And those steps require hard work and dedication and consistency. And that's the part right there where either you're gonna do it or you're not. Just like you and your show. What you say the other day, I was listening. You say I was getting up at 4 in the morning, starting early because I knew I had to do it. You get what I'm saying? Man said I was waking up at 4, have to be at work at 8. I had to do my show early because I still had to do it. That's what we got to do. Do it.
That's why you have to do that. You got to go that extra mile. And one, like I always break it down on YouTube. There's so many YouTube that want to do YouTube, that have a YouTube account. But then when you look at the ones that consistent, that number gets smaller, smaller, and smaller. It's like we're in our own world. And so it's always about consistency and also get as much knowledge as you can get and also be a trendsetter. Oh, this is what everybody doing. Okay, I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? So I saw like thinking outside the box. And so I don't know if you ever heard about Fresh. I believe it was like Fresh and Fit podcast. They got demonetized on YouTube or whatever. And so, but on their show, they didn't just talk about the mess. They also did what is called like money marketing or money talk, whatever. Um, but everything that you do, there is rules, especially when it comes to this platform. Some things you can say, some things you can't say. So don't say it on this type of platform. Fun of those people on something else. But again, it's always about studying the game, studying the platforms that you want. So that's why I had to bring you on because there's so many people here that want to get their own property. Um, Even as people that always send me up questions, ask Don, can you get a property for 580 credit score? That's one of the bigger ones that people ask me about that. But those questions are being asked. I think people are not looking for that answer. And I remember I was in a real estate thing, and J. Mal Green was there. He said, "Stop trying to get your $1 million home first time around. You're not going to be able to get that with a 580 credit score, 600 credit score, getting a
Right.
property for 950,000. Whoever's telling you that, they're not telling you the truth.
Right.
So I just
That's
like
right.
you got to be realistic into what you're getting when you get into real estate. And another thing I've learned, everybody is not meant to be a landlord. There's rules that comes with being a
Mhm.
landlord, especially when you talk about I get people with Section 8. There's a whole nother, rules and regulations to get somebody with Section 8 apartment. You got to have people that are going to come in that apartment. You got to come be up to code. Their definition of it to code is probably different than you rent out to average Joe when you want to get that recipient on there. This is just some of the clubhouse stuff and some of the stuff that I'm just hearing from people. Because I remember one time you had somebody that actually ran out to Section 8. He loved low income and Section 8 housing because he had the experience in that. But me just starting out, I'd probably be out on a lot of bread, be overwhelming because I don't have that experience. I don't know what to expect.
Right.
So that's why it's good to have people like yourself and others that have that area expertise that went through this before.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but it's also I have to give thanks to people like you for putting people like me on the platform so I can share my knowledge and some of this wisdom with a lot of the people who are interested in getting into real estate and things like that. I see it from a different perspective, so to speak, and so I just try to provide
The surface level
yeah
deal.
the viewers with just a different perspective on how to approach real estate because I've the way I approach real estate is the way I approached it from the beginning. And if you if you hear other real estate uh what you want to call them, coaches or mentors or successful real estate guys speaking real estate, um they'll say everything but some of the things that you need to hear. You get what I mean? I say a lot of things. Everything I say is meant for not for that I want you to hear. You need to hear what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? It's a necessity that you hear these things because
Right.
a lot of other guys in the game are not going to say them the way I say them. They're going to, use a whole bunch of double talk and lawyer jargon to kind of confuse your brain and shit. They're really just saying the same shit and they ain't really saying nothing at all. And but it's just one of those things that where I was told, and when I first got in real estate, that oh man, the stuff fuck stuff you saying is, the game's to be sold, not to be told. You need to be selling this stuff. I'm like, I could, but this guy is brand new, don't know anything. Why would I try to upsell him anything? Why shouldn't I just teach him how to fish? That way I ain't gotta worry about him no more. I ain't got time to come down to the shore, you know, at 6 in the morning, see him fishing, come back at 7 to swim in the ocean and he's still fishing. He ain't caught shit. Kids starving. Nah, let's teach this man how to fish, you know what I mean, to the best of his ability. And then, I see him on the other side. We'll catch a whale together. You know what I'm saying? And so I looked at it like that. A lot of people in real estate didn't look at it that way. You get what I'm saying? And just especially the seminar people and everything. I used to tell people, man, like, I get it. You said, you invested $50,000 in this education for real estate, but shit, I mean, that's 2 years at SMU law. You
Yeah,
get
right. You're so right about it. And you said something about monopoly. and this is just dropped in my spirit about WWE. Vince McMahon, when he bought it from his father, it was a trend. Okay, you got territories. That was the trend. But he was like, "F that. I don't want to control it all. Why should we not do business in Mr. Memphis? I want it to be on a national level. Oh, don't do it." And and WWE, he monopoly, he what the industry. There is no company that come close to WWE.
No. Hey, we got to go to the next wrestling event too. The next wrestling
Yeah,
event at American Airlines Arena, we got to go, and we
yeah.
got to go.
Because I went to Raw, went to SmackDown.
I
I
went
mean
to
Raw. I
shitload
went to
of.
Raw and WrestleMania.
I went to WrestleMania too.
So it was like, so I understand that idea. Like Vince McMahon, that's when he will go down in history because he created a new way of thinking of the wrestling business. At one point, it was all territory. There was no national show, cable, intertwined with celebrity. Vince did that, and they're eating the fruits of that to this day. Now, I believe until it get done with the public traded company, that they're going to let UFC, the company that owns UFC, will be the owners of WWE. But of course, Vince still get money for licensing and blah, 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 because he own a lot of the stuff of those wrestlers. He own a lot of their names and likeness. So we'll see how that's going. He's going to make quadruple the amount of money. And they will still allow him to run it until he dead and gone.
True.
And he will have his own people, which will mainly be his family, on the board, will be there for generations to come.
What I tell you, man, what we have to do is create generational nepotism
Yeah, that's what it
amongst
is.
our people.
That's what it is.
And
Generational
the way
nepotism.
we
Yeah,
do it is playing Monopoly, people. Remember, we're playing Monopoly with the trust, though. And so,
absolutely.
yep.
And when I had that phone call, when I saw this, when you said something about, I said that's good. That's the way they're thinking because we have seen it happen before. Of course, Vince McMahon didn't talk like that, but that's exactly what he did. He took over the entire industry, and then when they destroyed WCW, they bought it.
There
They
you
got
go.
all that, and then shut it down.
There you go.
AEW don't even come close to WWE. They don't have the big share of the market. They all over the world. And that because he had that vision. His father, of course, would have never sold it to Vince because he was still into that follow the leader. Does not disrupt the system. He disrupted the system.
That's true. And I agree with you, Terry. See, me and Terry on the same page. See, that's what I'm talking about,
It's
man.
what you're supposed to do for your own people.
There
That's
we go. There we go.
nepotism is
So
not a bad
I
thing.
just
It's
wanted
not
to
a
see
bad
that's
thing.
the thing. Like the whole thing is why could this is my gripe with real estate, and this is why I don't like going on platforms. This is why I don't have a YouTube channel, none of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, after I'll listen to myself talk, and the words are coming out of my mouth, and I'm thinking them. But the fact that these so-called gurus and these so-called guys who just have it all and think they know it all in real estate, you go through my dialogue in this hour and 43 minutes, and I guarantee you ain't none of them gonna say none of this shit. They'll give you 5 years worth of YouTube videos and can't none of them say nothing I said in an hour and 44 minutes. You get what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
can't talk to our people the way I just did in an hour and 44 minutes. And I'm not saying nothing real big, but it's just I'm changing the frequency in which we vibrate on. You get what I'm saying? They don't want to do that, bro. They want us on some on some monkey see, monkey do, follow the leadership, bro. We all leaders, we all kings and queens. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's a genius. Everybody's bright and great at something. You know what I'm saying? And so it just I don't understand some of this stuff, man. That's why I do need a YouTube channel. I realize when someone just put the post up, does he have a I realize I do need a YouTube. And you've been begging me for years and years to do a YouTube channel. But um I truly think I'm really, really, really gonna strongly consider it. Uh because I'll tell you this, the YouTube channel, I'll cover surface level stuff, and then I'll have zooms to where I really dive into stuff. And I want them to be more educational. So I would like to work with realtors and brokers that are within the group. And then, I would say, for example, we can be in Chicago and say, hey, if there's a realtor in Chicago, I want you to go on the Zoom, share your screen, and, get into the MLS or whatnot. And let's go scavenger hunt for properties in Chicago. And I can kind of show you guys where the equity is. And we're going to do this for every fucking city in the United States. You get what I'm saying? Whatever y'all want. Every time we do it, it's gonna be a different what's name. But these are the things I'm not gonna do on YouTube though. I'm gonna give you firsthand knowledge, links to HUD homes for $1, all kind of shit. Anything you could think of that's gonna help us progress in our neighborhoods before that. Because remember, I'm a zoning expert. And I don't say that shit lightly. I am what I am. So I'm saying that based on my strategies and what I know, I can always beat gentrification. It's not you we can't never stop it. It's a never ending money train. But what we can do is is we can jump ahead of it and kind of do the things we want to do within that process and move the fuck on. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what I'll be able to do, and that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? And so my show is going to be, I ain't gonna say my show, but my channel would be more so catered to those kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, for example, me and Wally are going to go out and I'm going to show y'all exactly what I mean by cornering the market. I'm going to show you guys on camera how gentrification starts and what's the end result. And I'm going to go and I'm going to show you what it looks like in white neighborhoods, black neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods, and everything in between. Because everybody has to take their medicine when it comes to this. It's not just us. You get what I'm saying? So
That's
that's what I want to
exactly
provide.
true. And the people need to see it. And I remember I had, and this was before the pandemic of what they were doing, I believe, in South Dallas and some part. And back in the day, that's when black families, that was when the corporation really looked out for black folks. They could have properties, get good with loans, and a lot of them black families that would be considered middle class, but they died. And they just came in buying homes, and Don said, F the homes, they want that land. And they built up them beautiful 800,000 homes, and you saw them run down properties. And once it start with one, it's like a domino effect. They got the
There
whole
you
neighborhood.
go. And so you got to realize, man, they go to our neighborhoods and they corner the market. But I'm not gonna tell you guys what that means. We're
Until
gonna show you
you
guys.
got to see it. When you see it,
We're
you go
gonna
like,
show
oh,
you
it makes
guys
sense.
all these terms that you've heard in your life. They truly do mean something. There's a sinister meaning behind all that shit. And so I just kind of want to
They need
expose
to see it. Yeah.
the words that they use, and I want to see you apply. I want to show you how they apply those words to our neighborhoods, and they implement it through zoning. And so yeah, it's gonna be cool.
They able to saw it. They
My name,
have what they said. What's your name?
my name is Don Johnson,
Don
but I
Johnson. You're
go
right.
by Don J. I go by OG, which means opportunity giver. I truly do believe in giving all my people the opportunity to be more wiser and gain more knowledge in real estate through me. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it just that's what it is, man. So that I don't have any. I'm really not on social media. You can find me on Facebook, but I really don't post anymore. I'm not on social media anything like that because I told Wally, I'm doing so much. Yeah, Don Johnson like Miami Vice, but I'm from Texas and I got a 10. So like I tell Wally, just the YouTube stuff and just me providing knowledge for you guys is you got to realize, man, like I know so much crazy shit. I know so much crazy shit. I don't even sleep at night. Like, how like they tell you like, you know, too much information is, what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing the residual effects. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm seeing the residual effects. of like knowing, because when you know, you can't unknow. You get what I'm saying? Like I told Wiley, man, like through my journey in real estate, man, I done seen everything you guys can, just everything that you can see, good, bad, and ugly at properties. I've seen it. I've seen properties where I went in, there was no floorboarding, no subflooring in the flooring, and kids in there, parents in the back room smoking dope. You know what I mean? All kind of shit. I done seen, man, I went to properties where women tried to sell their kids to us for dope. Shit like that. Like having porn on the fucking TV. I'll just, y'all have no idea some of the trauma that comes with this shit too. And I want to say that too. Like everybody think real estate is all good and everything, man. I done went in properties. I done found dead bodies. You know what I mean? One of the properties that I flipped was a property the cartels used to torture people in. Man, all kind of shit was on them walls and shit. Ain't no telling what that was. We had a hazmat team to go and clean it. But when you doing this stuff, and mind you, this ain't just the hood. Well, I'm talking about the most prominent neighborhoods in Dallas, Highland Park, where Jerry Jones and Mark Cuban and where these guys stay. You have hoarder houses where this lady had about 60 goddamn cats dead in a damn back wing of a property that was about 7,000 square feet. And she had one whole wing of the property where nobody went. She was a hoarder. She hadn't emptied the trash in 6 years type shit. You don't think you would see this shit. So I'm telling y'all, man, like real estate is a a wonderful thing, and it's a journey. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. It's a journey. It's a journey. And you gotta have a stomach for some of the shit you see. And when I first started, you guys can look up the data. There were so many realtors that were getting raped and killed, found behind dumpsters and stuff. That's why they mandated that the realtors go with a man now, or go with someone else, or they wait outside the car before they go open a property for somebody. Man, everything and anything that y'all can think of that happened in real life, it happened in that real estate realm too. It's just these people don't like to talk about that shit. I can give you horror stories, and I can give you stories of joy and pain and happiness and tears. But it all comes with it. Just like life. It all comes with it.
Absolutely. And that's why we had to bring down on how can the people get in contact with you that want to get more information. Of course, he'll be back on our Zooms that we have on Sundays, on some of the days, because we'll probably dedicate a Sunday about business and about real estate, celebrity gossip, whatever it takes for you all to have that conversation. Realtors used to drive around houses; they don't do that much anymore.
Look at the
Drive
one
you around two houses.
look right up under it.
They said there was a serial killer who was targeting female relatives. Oh yeah.
Yep. I'm telling you, bro, like this shit, like
And
I
like
can't even
Texas,
make
you
it
could
up.
be strapped in Texas.
Yes, I can't even make this stuff up, bro. I'm telling you. So it just, you know, it's the stuff you see. But
Yeah,
like if you guys are new to real estate and you want some information, I have a free ebook. And I also have like a cheat sheet for like people who begin in real estate, who kind of just don't know where to go. It's a cheat sheet, and it kind of prepares you for what you're gonna get in real estate or what you're gonna see. So it gives you scripts, websites to skill trace property owners, find them without spending money with these services and stuff like that. So it just kind of gives you an idea of what you have to do to really get in the game. You know what I'm saying? And so I give you the I give you everything you need basically, that you need to kind of navigate your way through this real estate stuff. Oh, I definitely consult you. I definitely. Hey, hey, you have my email. All you guys got to do is hit me up, and if I can help you, I'll help you gladly. And Wally, those who I do help, I want you to document. Uh, no, I do. Hey, my wife tells me that. She said I need to go to therapy, but I don't. I mean, like, I don't think I really need to go to therapy because I mean, like, a lot of this stuff, man, I'm kind of numb to it because of the way I grew up. I've been on my own since I was like 7 years old, so it ain't much I ain't seen in life. You know what I mean? I'm in Dallas, but you can find me at opgive999 or Facebook. My Instagram is my radio station, Rebellion Radio DFW or DFW. But I'm not on platforms, anything like that. But I would agree. I probably do need to see a therapist. You know, I would agree. Don't tell
Absolutely.
my wife though. Don't tell my wife I admitted that.
Thank y'all so very much. I was glad that we had this Sunday and we did it earlier, so it will be as late. But this was great. I mean, we drove it home. Like we reached out to DJ Envy for a statement. We didn't get a statement. We're Tony to close the O for New Jersey Flips. So hopefully they will respond to our messages sometime this week. But we did send out a message to see if they're going to give us a statement. But I'm looking forward to this case. It's very interesting to see this case. They said this. So I said, Wiley and Don, this was an excellent show. This is the newest, latest, greatest YouTube dynamic duo for sure.
Hey, let your viewers know that I've been officially named the Wiley Show's real estate correspondent.
Yeah, the Wiley Show, well, it's that correspondent, and that's why we had to bring you. And it's so much stuff about that. Like we can break down Trump idea of business and of how he was able to get what he's get for the real estate. Hell, when I was listening to his niece Mary Trump, how his father was able to get grants from the government. Actually, the government helped them accumulate their wealth and to become where they are today. And this is so man, it's just so much. It goes deeper into this once you really research these people. There's so much that he can say about a lot. But of course, we're going to bring him back on the show because there's so many questions you all have, and make sure y'all be prepared for the next time around to come out. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. But we asked y'all to be up early because we may go live earlier than that. So we have a lot of topics. I mean, we got probably about 10 topics because it was dry and celebrity gossip. Now they're acting crazy. So now we got some stuff to gossip about on tomorrow morning. Again, if you want to get in contact with Don, go to opgive999@gmail.com and send him a message so he can answer your questions or that you all have concerning real estate. So thank you, Don. Any events, anything that you want to announce that you got coming up?
No events. Just tune in to me, on the Wiley Show. I'll be on the Wiley. Hey, if you can bring me on, I'll be on. You know me.
Yes, so yeah, we definitely got to bring you on for our members on Sunday and everything. Because we do our members only at, of course, at 11. We did a tad bit early today. I mean, a tad bit late, like 11:30, but we typically go from 11 to whenever we get done talking. Like this episode, we did about almost 3 hours. We was on from 11 to like 1 or 2 this morning. Then last Sunday, we did about 6 hours. So it all depends on what I'm talking about. And on Zoom, you can really go deeper. And then they
Yeah.
actually on there where they can propose a question on that as well. And then I would love to hear success stories. Hey, I was dealing with this. This what happened. Now I'm here. Because we hear so much about the bad stuff in the community.
Mm-hmm.
We also need to hear about some good stuff to give it a well balance. So we don't just always focus on the trauma. Let's also focus on the wins.
Yes,
Who's
I
not
agree. I agree.
because we need to hear that too. But I'm looking forward to the ride along because we did one before, of course, but the show wasn't as big as it is now. I can't wait to do that again for another ride along with Don so we can see what's going on in those communities because he's an expert in so of that, of just that, so many areas I've never been in Dallas. Because, like, again, I'm in my one little hub. Marno, that's it. I don't go nowhere from that little strip. And Dallas is so way bigger than that. Because
Yeah.
I was in one area, it reminded me of it reminded me of an area in Georgia. it's like really expensive. I had to go on Facebook Marketplace to get a computer chair and all of these multi-million-dollar homes. Hell, even there, and I mean, if you really driving them cuts, you'll be seeing them. I'm like, damn, like, will you really just drive through them neighborhoods? I'm like, man, this is expensive.
Say, Wally, I'm gonna tell you another thing. So, yeah, so like half of the year, I'm a property tax consultant, right?
Okay.
So, and so when you're doing property tax consulting and you're like breaking down, assessing the value of properties and stuff like that, you get to see way more than a realtor would see, a broker
Mm,
would see. So you getting to see like the intricacies of this shit, bro. And like I've did reductions for like $1 million properties and things like that. And so in $1 million houses that look the same, the difference would be like this person had like three, the tile in their property cost 300,000. It was shipped on a private jet from Italy, and like you have to do cost breakdowns and cost analysis for that kind of shit too. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? So it just took me on a whole nother. You get what I'm saying? And so, but yeah, it's people who do that for a living. For example, uh if me and you were at Beyonce's house and Jay-Z's house, and it would there's property tax consultants and people who will go in and evaluate all that shit, like the time it took and how much it would cost to hang a Michelangelo picture on their wall and shit like that, bro. It's crazy.
wow, man. That
This person lady said, "What's the title?" The show almost over, brother.
the show almost. That's how they
I mean,
be.
sister.
It be like 2 hours later. Hey man, what you talking about? Give me a breakdown. Not for free. You
Oh, they
can
want you to post my email.
Yeah, I post the email. I can post it again, and it's in the chat too because I pinned it in the chat. I'm gonna post it back on the screen, and
Yeah.
yeah, I posted it in the chat as well. But I'm assuming some of y'all
Yeah,
don't.
if you guys email your questions, I'll answer all of your questions. I want everybody who takes the time to email me, I will respond to your email.
All right, and I put it in the chat too, and then there we go.
But I do appreciate everyone's time for
All right.
showing up and listening to me and Wiley today, joining in on the
Oh
show.
man,
I
yeah,
really do
this is good.
appreciate it.
On
That's
this
what's up.
beautiful day, we were able to get into something great. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all have a wonderful day. I will
Peace.
see y'all tomorrow, 10 a.m. Make sure y'all thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. And of course, if y'all leave a comment on the video, I'll forward it to Don, and we could do like a whole nother video sometime next week about them. I love Sundays because I think we're both off on the weekend where we can have, and Sunday is good too because so many people go to church on Sunday, but y'all go on the church of knowledge, how to have more wealth, how to be, what I'm saying, wealth is power, etc. And real estate to this day, I don't care who I talk to, what wealthy person I'm talking to, look at their real estate. Yeah, Oprah is a billionaire, but she have a lot of land in Hawaii. She have
She
multiple.
just bought 900 acres in Maui.
Yeah,
Why? Think about it. And it wasn't her; it was her and her business partners too. Like, so how did they get first dibs like that?
yeah.
That's
Because when
that.
you're wealthy, you get things just like not LeBron James, Kobe Bryant invested in a body arm before it got on the shelves. They get stuff before the general public. Like if you got the right person, like I was telling my members on Zoom, like Shaq, he knew about Google before Google ever happened.
Yep.
They
And
say he
Jay
knew
Z knew
that.
about Uber. Jay Z was one of the founding members or founding contributors or investors in Uber.
Yeah, because they have it's somebody having a meeting right now for some stuff we all gonna benefit. They're in some room on some phone call, hey man, invested this way, because that's when the people at the power. Us, we don't really get that until it become public. But it's people that get information before it become public, before it even become on the media. They having those discussions. So
That's true. So Ray,
absolutely.
you're right. We have created a segment.
Yeah, we have created a segment, and it's a segment that you all need to know about because again, mainstream media Their job is to give you their interest. They're not gonna give you interest how to get out of property. They will talk about crime,
Yeah.
but they ain't gonna talk about all trust and how to map it, how to own property, how to move. They would never break that type. Ain't
Nah,
that
I
strange?
guarantee you, there's not one person on the YouTube platform, and probably after they hear this, a lot of people are gonna try to copy my monopoly strategy, but I just gave, like I said, man, like the monopoly strategy is the strategy I did 7 years ago. So I'll tell you, like I tell Wally, that was stage one of my process. I'm at Mach 4 of my process.
That's
So I've
true.
already did stage one, stage two, stage three, stage four, Mach 1, Mach 2. I'm in Mach 3. So,
Yes, sir.
at the end of the day, the information I'm giving you is for me is general information that we should know and you should know about before you get into real estate or before you start investing. And I just feel like our people needs it. We need to know that kind of stuff. The stuff that I'm saying, we need to know it. That frequency needs to be in the air. You know what I mean? And so everybody can jump on that frequency, man. Like, because at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
each one teach one.
Somebody said 499 New York 007 said thank you. Thank you. It's good. It's good for this knowledge. But this was great, Don. Thank y'all so very much for y'all coming on. I know y'all have so many questions because my email gonna be like, act on this, blah blah blah. So I will definitely write all that down, and we gonna definitely revisit this conversation the next time we live next week. All right, y'all have a good one.
Peace.
All right, y'all subscribe too. Thumbs up and subscribe. Peace.